Coming right up, another fun Varsity Sports Show.
The Let It Fly Football Drills and Skills Camp is intense and rigorous, designed to improve skill levels for kids ages 7 to 14. Drills target hand and eye coordination, footwork, speed, agility, and quickness. Instruction from current and former professional and college athletes. Go to letitflyfootballcamp.com for more information. The Let It Fly Football Drills and Skills Camp is a proud sponsor of the Varsity Sports Show's IFL report with Arizona Rattlers wide receiver Isaiah Houston. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating a platform to promote young people in extracurricular activities and community outreach. If you are interested in partnering up with the Varsity Sports Show, find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or call or text us at 480-779-9437. The Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you.
Hi, kids. This is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show with my man Vince Delicio. And what's your last name?
It is Delicio.
Okay, that's right. That's what I thought. Yeah, right.
KDUS AM 1060 Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix is brought to you by AC by J, Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Drains.
This program is paid for by the JV Sports LLC and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. My name is Vince Delicio, and I am joined by a couple of special guests, and special because they're old friends of mine, and I don't know that they would publicly proclaim that a lot. But anyway, they are old friends of mine. They are here. We are getting a little nostalgic here in the studio, talking about good old days and how I dominated back in the day and they didn't, and they were just kind of followers and I was the leader and all of that. But anyway, let me introduce those guys, and then we've got a big show today. Let's get the pleasantries out of the way, starting with an old friend of mine from high school. Kept in touch with him through the years. He is now a life coach, Mr. Rob Maggs. Rob, how are you doing, sir?
It's a real pleasure, Vince.
Yes. Big time listener, too. You like my show and Dan Patrick's show, so we're in good company there. And of course, you guys know him as the Southern California Surf Report guy, Beachin' with Beal, Mike Beal. Mike.
Really excited to be here, Vince. I felt like I was at a Rush concert.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that awesome?
This is great.
It is. And we got the best producer in the business behind the glass, Aaron Decker. Let's get right into it. So today we got a bunch of stuff. Today is our final show that is 1 hour long. Next week we're going 2 hours, but we have a lot of content today, a lot of things to get to, so we're going to cut a lot of the chit-chatter out of the mix, but we will talk to you guys throughout the show, obviously. But let's start it off with our SaberCat report. Hit it, Aaron.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the SaberCat Report with Saguaro High School baseball coach Joe Mickey. And now, here's the SaberCat Report.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Varsity Sports Show, we are joined by Saguaro baseball head coach Joe Mickey. Joe, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, Sam. Pleasure to be here. Always appreciated the time and looking forward to it.
Indeed. I'm curious, what were some of your favorite moments from last season?
Oh, last year we had a really team that was probably one that we really didn't expect to have the success it had. I mean, our region was extremely tough. Obviously, the state champion came out of our region with Mesquite High School last year. Probably one of the highlights was we gave them their only loss of the season. We had some arms on the hill that kind of came out of nowhere, with Thomas DeCesaro being the region pitcher of the year, coming back this year as a senior, and Brody Carithers, and those two guys kind of led us from the front. Both of them were coming back as seniors. But just the way we competed last year, finished the year, and obviously hosting a state playoff game and getting into the top 8 was all good accomplishments last year off of a team that really hadn't had a lot of experience together.
What are you looking to do this season to build off of the accomplishments you had last season? Well,
every year going into it, Sam, we set the bar high. This year, we'd love to, our first and foremost goal is to win our region. It's a competitive region. We beat each other up pretty good when you get into region play. But between Mesquite and Seton, Marcos Deniza, even American Leadership Academy, our goal is to win the region. That's where we want to set this. We set our expectations there. And then obviously if we do that, we should hopefully find ourselves in a good place to make a deep run into the playoffs. And, the goal is always when we get into a year like this or any season is to be playing the last game of the season. And so if we've done that, that's a great year, but 45 teams in Division 4, and we hope to be one of the last ones playing the last game.
Indeed. Once again, we are joined by Saguaro baseball head coach Joe Mickey here on the Varsity Sports Show. You mentioned earlier about some key returning players for the SaberCats. Who are possibly some new players on the roster that our audience should be on the lookout for this season?
No, we definitely we have a bright young freshman who has a lot of buzz around him, Cam Caminetti, who he is an LSU commit as a freshman, which is pretty exciting. Left-handed pitcher, center fielder. He should be just an awesome kind of jump in the lineup, and defensively plays the position in center field really well. A couple guys who've come into the lineup or who are going to be on the roster who kind of came from out of state. A young man by the name of Eldon Smith. Just a really good, hardworking catcher, talented kid, runs really well. And truthfully, like I said, the returners we got coming back, with left-handed pitching, Cade Schumard, I already mentioned Thomas and Brody. The rotation is going to be pretty strong up front, a couple guys on the back end, and just some thump in the middle. I mean, last year we didn't have Miles Crutchley in the middle of our order. He was hurt most of the year. And so having him back kind of in the middle of the order as a senior returner, Aiden Bronska in the middle of the order as a senior returner, and Tanner Nelson with a big stick. I mean, the pieces are really exciting, and there's a lot of buzz around the group that's coming back with a few of those pieces that have kind of jumped in there. And so we're excited to see what happens when we put it all together and turn it out.
So once again, we have been joined here on the Varsity Sports Show by Saguaro SaberCat baseball head coach Joe Mickey. Coach Mickey, it's just been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Sam, always a privilege, man. Just honored and lucky to represent the program. But thanks for what you guys do for the community and our program and all of youth sports. It's awesome just to hype these guys up and recognize their hard work and let it show out.
The Varsity Sports Show presents the Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer. Get tips on staying healthy and active with locally renowned fitness guru Tyler Mayer. And now, here's Tyler.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Vince Delisio here, joined by my in-studio co-hosts for the morning, Mike and Rob. Mike Beal, Rob Maggs, old friends, known them, 35, 36 years now. Anyway, this is our special segment. Mike and Rob, both, you guys are privileged because you get some fitness tips today by the guru, the master himself, Tyler Mayer. Tyler.
Hey, good morning. I'll tell you what, man, live in living color, Rob and Mike, that is awesome and a little jealous. Wow, in studio. Well done, you guys.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's like riding a giant wave.
There's the surf report. There we go.
That's it. Yeah, now the insults are going to start to get flung at us. But Tyler, what do you got for us? We had communicated earlier, and you said you wanted to talk a little about the importance of routines. I have a routine. You know my routine. Literally, it's to get up in the morning, to head to the fridge, to make a cup of coffee and have some sweets with it, and then sit down and fall asleep.
What a routine. Let's talk offline about changing that routine a little bit. So,
okay.
I think we all understand a routine is important. I want to talk about not being robotic, just rather I love this term intentional, being intentional in things that we can do to avoid or redirect the stressors in our life, whether we expect them or don't expect them. But, I talk about preparing the night before. I rise early. I'm at work early, so I prepare the night before, meals, clothing, my calendar. I wake up early. I'm not a snoozer. That snooze button can really set off and disrupt your morning as well. And then take the time for, self, affirmation, that self-talk before we get on social media. So, from a wellness standpoint, I want to touch on those, maybe for another segment as well. But something, I've adopted and I've heard before, the 5 Ps, proper planning prevents poor performance. So however we can plan and prepare with all those things, like I said, we'll discuss at another time, Vince. But I want to talk about when we get into these routines and fitness tips, things that we can make more enjoyable, because as we know, the best type of workout is the one we'll do, and why we go places we go, and how we spend our money and where we spend our money at things that provide us a sense of satisfaction and enjoyment. So we know that the requirement, 150 minutes of moderate activity, is a minimum weekly requirement.
A week?
A week.
150 minutes a week? Holy smokes.
We talked about, less than 23 minutes a day.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Unbelievable. We can do this. So if we're going to do this, let's make it fun. So here's some quick tips, you guys. Guys and gals out there, athletes of all ages, invest in comfort. I like this one. So if you're going to invest in something, invest in it. I talk about that with our golfers. You ought to be good, but you better look good, right? So with that, we start with our foundation. Get yourself some proper footwear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pair of Crocs?
Yeah. Not the pair of Crocs.
Okay.
But if you're doing something where just being leisure,
yeah,
then those will be fine. So spend some money on some proper footwear. Head outdoors, especially out here. We touched on it before. Hike, parks, outdoor boot camps. We're getting ready to head out to the park here as soon as we wrap up here, Vince. Get competitive, man. What's wrong with being a little competitive out there? Those guys, if you're wearing Fitbits, you're wearing those Polar, get those wearable apps have challenges, okay? So get involved. If you have a home gym, make it your own. Make it appealing, clutter-free, not the treadmill in the bedroom that's holding all the clothing. And then, of course, music. Music motivates. If you know you're going to train a certain way, coaches, you're preparing a certain way for your team, have the right type of music. Have the right playlist ready to go. And if it's a yoga day or a self-reflection day, tone it down a little bit. But otherwise, man, I'll tell you, my garage gym, when we're rocking and rolling, my neighbors know what type of training mode I'm in. Because, again, the best workout we'll do is the one that we'll stick with and be consistent with. And at the end of the day, Vince, just got to move and just got to keep moving.
And you got to drink a lot of water, right, Tyler?
Lots of water. You know where that leads to, Mike Beal.
Clear urine.
That's right.
That a boy. Nice plug.
See, there you go. All right. See, we're starting to live it, Tyler.
Man, this is good stuff.
Yeah. Wow. And it's only taken a year. The Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer. Tyler, I can't tell you, I'm excited beyond belief that you and Jen are going to be part of our new expanded programming starting next week. We're going 2 hours. We're going to get up at 8 a.m. and we're going to run to 10 a.m. It's going to be a lot of fun, and so happy that you are still you're continuing to be a part of what we're doing here. It's really been a nice feature of the programming, and you've really enhanced the show.
Well, I tell you what, Vincent, we talked about before, and I'll close out here. But I mean, it's really, part of what we do is part of our servant, leadership is just give back. I've been through a lot. I've experienced a lot. A lot of joy, a lot of pain, and anything we can do to help out from a fitness, athletic, health and wellness, and Jen being the holistic nutritionist, we're just happy to give back to the community. So we're looking forward to it, and keep your ears and eyes peeled, listeners. It's going to be fun stuff.
And let's also throw out a plug for what you do in terms of your training. How can people find you?
Yeah, so, check us out. We've got a little, mostly Jen and I support her with our Activate lifestyle and performance coaching, here out of the garage, but also we're available, Instagram, active_8 coaching, AZ. So check us out. We try to keep as live there as we can, in and around a busy schedule with sports and a career and two young active boys. So it's just awesome. I mean, this is what I do. This is what I've done, and I just love giving back and helping people live a life fulfilled.
Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer. Thank you, Tyler. Activate Coaching, Jen Mayer, the nutritionist, Tyler Mayer, the fitness guru, and they live the healthy lifestyle and great people overall. Thanks again, Tyler. We'll talk to you next week.
Love it, you guys. Have a great day.
The Fitness Minute is brought to you by Fixed Body Group with locations in San Diego and Phoenix. Go to fixedbodygroup.com.
Guys, when we come back from the break, we are going into our Canyon Athletic Association report. We're going to talk some prep basketball with our broadcast intern, Griffin Greenberg. We'll be back after the break. A lot of good stuff coming. Stick around. Go Varsity.
Valley Legend continues to bring the sports facts and analysis to KDUS AM 1060. Catch the Sports Zone with Bob Kemp weekdays from 10 a.m. till noon.
This book tells the future.
Hell yeah! I'm Alyssa Munoz with the Varsity Sports Show, keeping you updated with Arizona Community College athletics and high school sports around the Valley. You can find me on Twitter at _Alyssa Munoz.
Coming this winter to the Varsity Sports Show, AIA, high school, basketball, soccer, and wrestling. Attention, student athletes, parents, coaches, and administrators. We are contracted affiliates with NFHS. Tired of Pixelot? Our NFHS authorized platform can spotlight your favorite team with multi-camera and full broadcast crews. We still offer our YouTube channels as well. Single game, multi-game, and season coverage available to meet every budget, including a segment on the Varsity Sports Radio Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, dedicated to your team. We can even help promote your booster businesses. Act fast. The season is right around the corner. Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675.
Pinnacle Pain and Spine's team of professionals are ready to help with that nagging head, neck, back pain, and arthritis with proven treatment as soon as your first visit. Dr. Matthew Crooks and his friendly team have the highest consumer ratings in trust, friendliness, and easy scheduling. They work with most insurance plans. With locations in Scottsdale, Chandler, and Fountain Hills, PinnaclePainAZ.com or call 480-407-6400. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Show and Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer.
The Sports Zone with Bob Kemp will air weekdays from 10 a.m. till noon. Catch the Sports Encyclopedia on KDUS AM 1060, 100.7 HD2, and KDUS1060.com.
And nothing gets me down. You got it tough.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Griffin Greenberg, and today I'm joined by one of the coaches of the PHH Prep Fire girls basketball team, Coach Daniel Traegesser. Coach, first off, thank you for joining me, and congratulations on your squad winning the Open Division Championship.
Absolutely, thanks for having us, and thanks. It was a tough win, but we're happy we got it done.
Let's just jump right into it. A very dominant season for the team overall. I think you guys were 37-2. What are your overall just thoughts and takeaways on your very successful season throughout?
We have a pretty special group here. We have a group of girls that has sacrificed a lot to kind of be a part of what we're building over here at PHH Prep. All of our girls have left a traditional high school setting. For us going into the season, we had kind of set two goals in terms of we wanted our kids to win the CAA state championship, and then we also want to compete for the grind session world championships. So on Monday, we checked one of those boxes, but obviously the work's not done, as grind session finals will conclude kind of in the middle of March.
Speaking of grind session, those all-stars were announced last night. You guys had three, with one being Sanaya Neverson, who wasn't even most outstanding player in the championship game.
I think between being named a grind session all-star, being named the most outstanding player of the CAA game. We had our senior night last night. Just kind of some well-deserved recognition for Sanaya. You know, she flew under the radar for a couple years at her old high school and has kind of been given the opportunity to kind of spread her wings and show everything that she's able to do. It's really the atmosphere that we've created both on the boys and the girls side here at PHH Prep, where it's about we. You know, everybody's always about it's we before me.
How does it feel, you know, as a coach to help lead such a strong team and win the state championship?
I mean, it's awesome. You know, as a coach, I think that's always one of your goals is you want your players to be successful. And I think the ultimate goal in any team sport is to win what is the last game of the year and to win the championship. Just thinking about how bright the future is just gets you more excited to go out there and kind of keep grinding and putting in that work. And I think our kids are the same way. You know, they're hungry. You know, we had practice on Tuesday and it was, you wouldn't have known that we won a state championship on Monday. Like they were getting after each other because in our minds, the job isn't done.
Okay, welcome back. And joining us on the line is Coach Ashton Thomas from Edgeprise, along with one of our broadcasters who's been covering the beat writer for the CAA prep basketball all season, Griffin Greenberg. Coach Ashton Thomas. Coach Thomas, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm great. Coach, congratulations. Big win the other night. We were privileged. Thank you for allowing us to come out and broadcast your game out at ASU the other night. Big win over Imagine Surprise for the Division III CAA Prep Championship. Amazing game, amazing season, 22-0. What can you say about it other than it was perfect?
It definitely wasn't perfect. We definitely had our ups and downs. I think we grew as individuals and as a team. And it was great to be a part of it.
You know, one of the stars of your team, obviously, a young man with the same last name as yours that lives under your roof, AJ Thomas. Is he there next to you?
No, he's not here.
Now. Okay, all right. He's probably enjoying life before the grind starts up again with AAU basketball. But he's a sophomore, averaged 28 points a game. My gosh, what can you now? Okay. Put your coach hat on. I know you do this. Take the dad hat off and talk a little bit about AJ's performance all season.
He was a great leader this season. He averaged, like you said, the 28 points, along with, 8 assists and 6 steals per game. He
Wow.
really filled up the stat sheet. We really looked to him to kind of guide us and be that leader for our young guys, and he accepted that role greatly.
I also want to talk about another one of your key players, a freshman on the team, Marcus McDonald. He was the MVP of the championship game, scored 22 points, which was right around his average anyway. Averaged 4 to 5 steals a game. And great defensive play. Having him, what did that mean to the overall success of the team this season?
We couldn't have done what we've done without Marcus. Marcus is a great individual talent. He definitely understands his role, and he understands that without his scoring ability that we don't get as far as we do. He's a dog on defense, and he also works very hard on and off the court. Also, he's a 4.0 student.
Wow.
So that's kind of attests to, his hard work.
Future looks bright for Edgeprise out in Gilbert. Coach, congratulations again. Thank you for joining us, and look forward to circling back. We got a lot of basketball to cover with you next season.
I look forward to it. Thank you, Vince.
All right. Coach Ashton Thomas, Edgeprise, the Eagles, and a good friend of mine now. We've developed quite the friendship. He's a great guy, very approachable, and always giving of his time. And really spotlighting all about the kids. So Griffin Greenberg on the line with us, one of our broadcasters. He's been the beat writer for Preps. Griffin, are you ready to be joined by PHH Black coach Showtime, Terry Showtime Whitmore? Are you ready, Griff?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Coach Show, how are you, sir?
Wonderful day.
It is a wonderful day. Griff, I'll let you lead off the questions here for Coach Show. We got a couple minutes with him, and then we'll transition as well.
Hey, Coach. So obviously, big day in a few hours. You got your championship game, and
just going through your roster, you guys have some, star player and star talent, Chase Mayo, Kent Van Ness, and even Sidney Wooten. How will you look for, your guys in today's game to really get going for you?
Well, we've been counting on those guys. Those are all our captains. So, and we've been counting on those guys, and they've been leading us and doing a great job. I mean, they're the backbone to our success, and I'm proud of those dudes.
Coach, let's talk about the season. Obviously, you're playing in the championship game this afternoon. Up and down season. What are things that are takeaways that you think that have helped you get to this point?
Well, I think that we're an undersized team. I mean, what makes us a little bit different is that we got to fight. We got to fight every tooth and nail. Everybody's bigger than us, and as they say, we lose in the layup line every single time. If you look at us, and we don't look all that skilled, but we got some talented players, Chase, and Kemp, and Sidney, not to mention Shamar Moore, some other dudes, and we just find a way to get it done differently every single day.
Awesome. Coach Terry Showtime Whitmore, Coach Show out at PHH Black, playing in the championship game today against Dream City out at Footprint Arena, 2 p.m. Head on out there, folks. Coach, congratulations. Good luck. We'll circle back with you.
I appreciate you. Thank you much.
All right. Joining us on the line, Dream City Christian head coach and number one team in the Open Division, Coach William Coleman. Coach Coleman, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. How's it going?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right. Griffin, take it away.
Hey, Coach Coleman. So you guys had that round one win over Skyline where you just barely escaped them with that 1-point win, and then won by 38 in round two against the fifth seed. What were you as a coach able to, instill in your team, and how were you able to light the fire in your team to come out stronger and have that dominant performance in the second round?
I think Skyline played a heck of a game. They battled, but I think it was a little bit of nerve, first round. We just had to get back to what got us here, and that's our defense. And when we were able to do that, the second game, we had a good result.
Griff, you have one more question for Coach. Go ahead.
Yep, got it. One more question, Coach. You guys are, a very high-scoring team. You scored over 70 in both of these last two games. What do you have to do offensively today to keep that up?
Just play freely. We're going to be in a big stadium, big arena on a big stage. So the depth perception is going to be a little different, getting adjusted to that. But just relax. Realize, it's just a game. It's just a basketball game that we all love to play. So just go out there and have fun and do all the things that we've kind of learned throughout the season. Cut hard, play together, and live with the result.
Coach William Coleman, Dream City, heading out, playing in the championship today out at Footprint Arena, downtown Phoenix, 2 p.m. versus Coach Terry Showtime Whitmore and his PHH Black squad. 2 p.m., folks, head out there. Coach, congratulations. Good luck. We'll look forward to having you back and covering you next season.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Griffin, stay on the line. I want to ask you a couple questions now. From what you've seen this season, you've been obviously very involved with covering the Preps. Any surprises that you've noticed? Anything that kind of stood out for you?
Well, Preps overall, I think one surprise is actually, just in all these championship games, every single game has featured the one seed, and many may say that's not a surprise, but usually in traditional years we've seen, few upsets throughout the playoffs and stuff like that, and we haven't really seen it this year. It goes to show how dominant certain teams are. I mean, you'll have Enterprise, Vince, like we talked about, winning their game by 20 and powering through their schedule. Tri-City Christian, kind of a similar thing. East Valley on the girls' side, also a similar thing. So we've seen a lot of dominant play from certain teams this season.
Nice work. Give us a quick prediction of today's Open Championship.
Quick prediction, I'm going with PHH Prep. I think Mayo and Camp Van Ness.
The upset. All right.
Yeah, I think Mayo and Camp Van Ness can do some damage. Mayo scored 42 earlier this season.
All right. Well, there you have it. Our expert, Griffin Greenberg. Griff, thanks so much for joining us on the CAA Preps Report. Guys, when we come back, we are going to be joined by our old friend, Arizona Rattlers wide receiver Isaiah Houston. And Couple guys hanging out in the studio here loitering, Mike and Rob. So, no, I'm just kidding. Good friends of mine. Folks, like I said, thanks again for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. We will be back. Quick-paced show today. Go Varsity.
Have you downloaded the KDUS AM 1060 skill for Alexa yet?
Dude, Alexa is frustrated. No matter how many times do you ask, the answer is male, chicken.
Once you're ready, say Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060 to listen to your favorite shows.
Hi, this is Rob Maggs, Vince's life coach and surfing coach to the Beach Bum Beal. You're listening live to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS.
Are you unable to do the things you love? Do you know your daily habits could be better to enhance your quality of life? Are you suffering with chronic pain or chronic illness and can't find the right solution that works for you? Fix Body Group was created so you have a team of professionals to help you achieve your health goals and get you back to doing what you love again. In Scottsdale, go to fixbodygroup.com or call 480-795-5329. Fix Body Group, proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show and Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer. The Let It Fly Football Drills and Skills Camp is intense and rigorous, designed to improve skill levels for kids ages 7 to 14. Drills target hand and eye coordination, footwork, speed, agility, and quickness. Instruction from current and former professional and college athletes. Go to letitflyfootballcamp.com for more information. The Let It Fly Football Drills and Skills Camp is a proud sponsor of the Varsity Sports Show's IFL report with Arizona Rattlers wide receiver Isaiah Houston. The Varsity Sports Show is proud to partner with SaberCat Athletics. That's right, the Scottsdale Saguaro SaberCats are on the Varsity Sports Show. Join the Varsity team as we cover the Cats during the SaberCat Report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, featuring players, coaches, and commentary. Look out for live stream coverage of Saguaro SaberCat sporting events by going to YouTube and searching for Varsity Sports Show, then click that subscribe button to stay up to date. The Saguaro SaberCats are here.
Extra Point with Kayla Mortellaro and Bob Kemp take a deeper dive into the sports world. Catch the 1 hour show from 12 noon to 1, right here on KDUS AM 1060.
It's time for Inside the Huddle with Arizona Rattlers wide receiver Isaiah Houston on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio joined by my in-studio co-hosts today, Mike Beal and Rob Maggs. Joining us on the line, Isaiah Houston from the Arizona Rattlers, wide receiver, and our very own broadcaster and IFL beat reporter, Sam Valente. Isaiah, Sam, how are you guys?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Isaiah, how are you doing?
Hello, Isaiah. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
There he is. All right. Okay. Sam, take it away.
Okay, Isaiah, I'm curious, man. What are you most excited about with camp coming up for the Rattlers?
Honestly, man, just excited to get back on the field, enjoy the good weather, get in the locker room with the boys, and just kind of get things going and get ready for this championship season.
Isaiah, I want to ask you specifically, and I know this week is going to give us an inside look at you, at the team that's never been done before, and I want to know a little bit about your role on the offense. Now, obviously, you're arguably, I mean, in my opinion, and for what it's worth, because I've seen you up close and back in our days at Phoenix College and kind of watched your progress through the years. You're arguably the team's best clutch receiver. But what is your role on the team?
Yeah, I would definitely say I'm kind of like the Swiss Army knife as the offense.
I like that. Swiss Army knife. Wow.
Yeah, that actually comes from the words of Coach Guy himself. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so they move me around quite a lot. This year, I think they'll use me a lot on the jet sweeps and whatnot, the motions that are prevalent in arena football, and so definitely should catching a lot, and also could be running a couple touchdowns in this year as well. So definitely be used all over the field.
Nice. Sam, did you want to expand on that?
Man, I agree with that. Isaiah he's a very dynamic player. Coach Kevin Guy, he'll put Isaiah in. He can kind of put him in different spots on the field and stuff. And Isaiah, he always comes through. He does his job for the team. He's a fantastic player.
Isaiah, so in terms of now, you mentioned jet sweeps and things. Let's talk about your speed because they're putting the ball in your hands like a running back. So what's your 40 time?
Yeah, I would definitely say low 4.4, maybe even crack the high 4.3s.
Yeah, that's like me. Wow.
Yeah,
awesome.
Definitely. I remember you back in there.
Yeah, right. Nice. So, all right. So here's the other thing I want to ask you. So preseason camp, where's camp going to be? How is that going to work for you? Are they 2-a-days, 3-a-days? I mean, are you there basically dawn till dusk? What's going to happen with that?
Right. So we're out at Gene Autry Sports Complex in Mesa. That's where the Rattlers facility is. So that's where we have camp. We get there about 7 a.m. and we're there till about 6 p.m. for those 10 days. It's 10 days long camp. And 2-a-days. So we'll have our first kind of walkthrough practice in the morning, and then meetings, film, lunch, and then go out and have our afternoon practice, and then same thing, come in and watch film and more meetings. That would last about 2 weeks, but definitely a grind. Be ready for it to end and get ready for the game.
Now, I know obviously final rosters are determined right before the season opener, but approximately how many guys are going to be coming in? How many guys at your position are going to be coming in that you're competing? Because you're competing for a job every year. Nothing is certain.
That's the business of professional sports. You got to produce every day, and the Rattlers especially, they're big on that. They don't care what you did last season or even last week. To be real, you got to come in and produce every day. So we start camp with about 40 bodies, and they cut down to about 25. And then last year, I would say we had about 11 receivers, and we ended up keeping 7.
Wow.
So it's a tough business, but
yeah,
it brings out the best in your competition.
Yeah, no room to get sick in there. Nice job.
Right.
So, and you do a lot of outreach in the community. One thing about you that I absolutely am the biggest fan is that you don't shy away from being out in the public and working with kids. So you work with kids out at Arizona Christian. You do a camp out there every week, a wide receiver skills camp. Tell us about that and how people can reach you.
Yes, sir. Every Wednesday, 5 p.m., Arizona Christian University, located 59th Avenue in Greenway. And you can reach me. Instagram is at @I_Houston7 or on Twitter at Isaiah Houston. And, we just kind of, myself and my teammate Dylan Winfrey, he's a safety for the Rattlers. We put on a little receiver defensive back clinic, and it's been going great so far. Enjoy working with the kids and just hoping to keep it growing throughout the season as we're playing as well. So you get a chance to work with 2 professionals.
Nice. Guys,
definitely.
Anybody in the community, kids from as young as, how young, Isaiah, do you work with?
Yeah, anywhere between 8 to college.
Nice. So anybody in the community, any kids that want to improve their skills, wide receiver play, you've got a defensive back, professional football players that are out there actually coaching you, head out to Arizona Christian University, 59th Avenue in Greenway, every Wednesday between 5 and 7. Walk in, and Isaiah will work with you. And it's obviously a fee-based camp, and he can talk to you about that. But you're paying for professional consulting and skills work and drill work, and you learn it all firsthand, nothing hidden, total transparency with Isaiah and his teammate, and they'll come out there and work with you guys. But check him out on Instagram, Twitter, and you can also get his contact info through us on our Twitter at Varsity Show. So thanks, Isaiah. Thanks, Sam. We'll circle back with you next week.
Thanks, Coach.
Awesome.
Have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Okay, joining us on the line, Matt Mason, Arizona Roadrunners. They got a tryout. Anybody who wants to play professional football, man, we were just talking about Isaiah and the Arizona Rattlers. There's another pro team that'll be playing in Prescott Valley. Matt Mason, we got a tryout tomorrow morning. Hello, Matt.
Hi.
Yeah, there he is. Yes, sir. Talk to us about the tryout tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, Campo Verde High School in Gilbert. We do want to thank Max and Vince for this opportunity. 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We're going to be hosting one day, just our final in the Valley camp. And then the following Sunday up in Chino Valley at Chino Valley High School, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We're going to be holding our final camp up in that area.
Nice. So tomorrow morning, Campo Verde High School, Val Vista in the 202, 9 to 12, head out there. And then next week, Chino Valley, next Saturday morning, correct?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday as well.
It's going to be Sunday as well.
Okay, Sunday.
We want to accommodate the guys that are playing in the semi-pro leagues, and so that they don't have to worry. Get your guys' games out of the way and then come and see us.
All right. Matt Mason, president of the Arizona Roadrunners. We'll talk to you next week, Matt. Thanks again for joining us, and good luck with those tryouts tomorrow at Campo Verde.
Thank you, Vince. We appreciate it. Beep, beep.
That's it. Arizona Roadrunners. Beep, beep. Here we go. Take it away.
It's time for the Recruiting Spotlight, sponsored by My Recruits and Coach Perot.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, the Recruiting Spotlight with our very own Nick Hogan. Nick, take it away, sir.
What's up, Vince? And yeah, let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about O.C. Alu, and he's probably a name that if you're from the Valley, the Arizona area, you probably haven't heard of him. That's not because of a lack of skill. He's 6 foot, 180 pounds. He's a safety and defensive back. He also plays a lot of special teams, so we'll break that down later. He's 20 years old, so he's actually playing JUCO football at Grossmont College. That's near San Diego in California. But he began his career in Houston, Texas, where he was top 5 in tackles in his high school district, while also being named the best high school special teams player during his time there. And this all came against very tough Texas high school 6A teams, so definitely not bad competition at all. So he really wants to end up at a 4-year school, according to him and Coach Perone. In order to do that, he's attended various camps, including the NAU camp in 2020, and he won the most outstanding defensive back and most outstanding athletic performance at that camp. He also had the top 40-yard dash time at that camp with a 4.4 time, which is obviously super impressive. He's really fast. Coach Perone made it clear that the phrase "speed kills" really just that in itself describes how Alu plays the game. He has a great football IQ as well, and coaches really referred to him as a diamond in the rough, and that may be the best way to describe him because he has flew under the radar a little bit despite attending these camps. But this camp was back in 2020. Since then, he's gotten bigger, faster, and stronger. As you develop, he's maintained a 3.0 GPA. He's got multiple years of eligibility left. He's going to be a spring grad this year from JUCO.
Nice.
And so really just anywhere, any 4-year school is really his goal. He should start gaining traction because his athletic ability really jumps off the film. If it's one thing to be a good football player, it's another thing to be a great athletic football player. That's one thing that you don't have to be an expert to see that a guy's really fast. And every team can use fast guys, fast athletic guys who like to hit people. From my film study, he really is just athletic, but the biggest thing I saw was his ability to make a difference in special teams. You always want guys like that on your roster. He won those awards in high school for it. He did a great job at it at the JUCO level. Kickoff, kick return, he throws blocks, he makes tackles, makes open field tackles, which is huge. And if you got a guy who can help you on the defensive side of the ball and special teams, that's going to be a huge help no matter where he ends up.
Nice. Nick, that was a great report. O.C. Alu, and it's not just about the high schools, it's about the JUCOs as well and creating opportunities. And O.C. is out of Grossmont College by way of Texas. Grossmont is out near San Diego. And thanks so much for that report, Nick. We'll circle back with you next week.
Sounds good to you then.
All right, guys, when we come back, we've got the JUCO report, news and notes from the HJCAC, the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. Our very own David Montoya will present another feel-good story, success story, in another young man. And we'll be back after the break, and then we're going to close the show. And we'll be joined by Mike and Rob here, and we'll talk a little Van Halen tribute as well. Stick around, folks. Great show, very fast-paced. Mike, what do you think so far?
So far, so good. I was just thinking that football player is the polar opposite of you.
Okay, more to come. Go Varsity.
absolute best interviews and guests. Tune into The Dan Patrick Show live weekdays from 7 to 10 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Sports, sports, sports. I love it and you love it too. Hello, I'm Aviana Hoppus and I'm beyond glad to join the Varsity Sports Show this semester. I'll be bringing you coverage of your local high school sports team. A Valley Girl myself, I will be reporting, commentating, and doing everything in between for some of your favorite schools in the area. I can't wait to see you on the court.
Welcome to the Jaguar Nation. The Varsity Sports Show is proud to partner up with Canyon View High School in the West Valley to be the voice of Jaguar athletics. Tune in on Saturdays to hear the Jaguar Nation, featuring coaches, students, and staff between 9 and 10 a.m. on AM 1060 KDUS, and subscribe to the Varsity Sports Show YouTube channel to get free exclusive coverage of Canyon View sporting events. Welcome to the Jaguar Nation.
Jack it up.
Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterAthletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind.
Pinnacle Pain and Spine's team of professionals are ready to help with that nagging head, neck, back pain, and arthritis with proven treatment as soon as your first visit. Dr. Matthew Crooks and his friendly team have the highest consumer ratings in trust, friendliness, and easy scheduling. They work with most insurance plans. With locations in Scottsdale, Chandler, and Fountain Hills, PinnaclePainAZ.com or call 480-407-6400. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Show and Fitness Minute with Tyler Mayer.
We'll do what's best for the team, and we'll do what's best for you.
The Rich Eisen Show coming to you weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Hey, this is ASU Sun Devil lacrosse coach Tim McCormick, and you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
It's the JUCO Report on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show. News and notes from the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference.
Hello, I'm David Montoya with the Varsity Sports Show here in North Phoenix with Giovanni Borbone. He just got an offer from SMU. He plays for the Maricopa Mustangs. His story is a little unlikely to say the least. He was a quarterback at Buena High School in Southern Arizona, transferred to safety, and now he's a long snapper. How are you feeling about this offer?
It feels good. You know, I've been a long time coming, but you know, I kind of knew this was going to happen sooner or later, but I'm, you know, excited more so to say. So.
And like I said, you were a quarterback in high school, and then you transferred over to safety. How did that whole process come about, and how did you take on that challenge?
You know, I was a four-year varsity quarterback in high school and did pretty good. I knew I wasn't tall enough to play quarterback at the next level, but you know, kind of tried to be realistic with myself and put myself in situations that are going to better myself and better my longevity. When I got to the Maricopa Mustangs, like I said, I didn't get a lot of playing time at free safety, so you know, one day we needed a long snapper. I started snapping, and the rest is history from now on. So,
yeah, and like you said, you just got a chance to long snap, and you know, you ended up being a long snapper, and you get an offer as a long snapper. 5 years ago, could you have ever seen this coming?
Yeah, no, this is something that I'll joke with my family about, my friends about, with you about probably for a long time, just because, you know, like I said, I played quarterback my whole life, and growing up, it wasn't like I would never imagine me being in this situation, but you know, I believe everything happens for a reason, and yeah, so I'm excited.
And you have a teammate, Cole Cousatrone, who also just got a D1 offer. You two now being both on the Maricopa Mustangs, your offer, his offer, it has to speak volumes for this league and how, you know, it's gaining a reputation. How has the HJCAC helped you in gaining this opportunity?
You know, the HJCAC, I can speak about, you know, I'm new to the league. I've only been playing for the league for 2 years, or 1.5 with the COVID year, but the HJCACs gave me opportunity to play, and I got to be grateful for that opportunity. If I wasn't in this situation, I don't think any of this would have been possible. So all kudos to the coaches and all the coaching staff of the HJCAC and the Maricopa Mustangs for giving me the opportunity to play. And Cole, he's, like I said, he's a great guy, and our mentalities are very similar. We both wanted to play on this type of level, and all the future Maricopa Mustangs, the future athletes of the HJCAC, I believe, take it with a grain of salt and just come in and prepare yourself and mentally and physically, emotionally. Because junior college football is not easy. It's a lot of independence and learn how to be patient, and it is different. But if you just take it day by day and stick to your game plan, I feel like going JUCO and this HJCAC route it'll help you in the long run.
And do you think that this offer from SMU is going to pave the way for any other HJCAC athletes that want to take it to the next level?
Oh, definitely. I feel like getting this publicity and this just notice from a high-level program academically, and it's helping put the HJC on the map, and I can't be more grateful and just helping them do that. They gave me the opportunity to play. What more can I do and help them become more exposed to these athletes in Arizona?
Awesome. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate you taking your time to come speak to me. Again, I'm David Montoya in North Phoenix reporting.
Welcome back. And that was, the HJCAC has been such a godsend to the community, because it picked up where the community colleges, again, soapbox time. They kind of dropped the ball. They dropped football, and they left a lot of young people hanging with opportunities that were missed. And the coaches that formed the league, most notably Coach Doug Madosky, who was the head football coach at Scottsdale Community College, Coach Stephen Weiss as well. They formed the league and brought in new coaches to kind of help take the ball and run with it and keep these opportunities going. So kudos to them. That's just a prime example right there, Giovanni Bourbon, of guys that are getting opportunities to move on. This guy's going to SMU. He's going to be a long snapper. He was a quarterback in high school and then transitioned, played defense, and found his niche with the HJCAC as a long snapper of all positions. And now he's going to go to a Division I school. So what do you think of that, guys?
I think the long snapping position is somewhat underrated. It's a critical component of special teams. I think I'd be excited if I were him.
Without a long snapper, you can't have a kicker.
There you go. So tonight, and tonight is going to be an incredible evening, by the way, Mike. You came into town, obviously out of Orange County, Southern California. Rob, you live here. I don't know where you live or what type of living situation you have. I just know that you exist.
It's not good.
He's just kind of a guy that, just kind of floats around from place to place, I think, right?
Vince, I live right by our alma mater, Black High School.
That's right.
Go Spartans.
Yeah, right next to where it would have been your glory days if you ever had any.
Okay, thanks. So Mike, you came into town. Why, besides co-hosting the show, why did you come into town? What do we got going?
Tonight we've got the big concert, Van Halen, over at Harold's Corral. I'm really looking forward to that.
Excited for that. And do you have any favorite songs? I know you're a big David Lee Roth guy, so.
I do not like Van Hagar.
Oh.
I like mostly just the original Van Halen first album.
Yeah,
my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the first album, so that's fine. I like 1984, but yes, I am a Sammy Hagar guy too, so I do enjoy that. And for you guys out there, you guys that listen to the show, especially younger people that don't know what Van Halen is, pick up I'd say pick up an album, but they don't sell albums anymore. What is it now, Rob? You seem to be in touch with young people now.
Actually, vinyl's coming in hot right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the kids love vinyl now.
Oh, so it's they're going back to the old days. They like that stuff again.
It's the circle of life.
Okay. Do you have a favorite?
Probably Diver Down.
Okay.
Underrated.
Oh, nice. Okay. A lot of cover songs on that album. So, okay. Mike. All right, Mike, why don't we do a little surfing report? So for those of you that haven't heard it before and wondering why these two guys are in studio with us, Mike and I, last year when I was going through and kind of trying to think of some programming ideas for the show, some things maybe that would fill time, maybe not drive away too many listeners. I called my friend Mike, and I said, Mike, do you have any ideas for segments we can do? And you came back, and you said what?
I suggested the Surf Report.
Okay, so So why a Surf Report, of all things, for people listening primarily in Arizona?
Well, pre-internet days out in California, listening to the radio a lot, I used to actually look forward to the Surf Report. And I thought it'd be a nice little treat for the listeners in the Valley to kind of keep updated with what's going on in the ocean in general. It's so different out in California compared to the Valley.
Yeah, and so we did that, and it started off so great. It was such a neat thing because, and Rob, you know this too. You know, it was so cool because you'd come on, you talk about the surf, the beach, how things are over there, and give us kind of a picturesque, create a vivid image. But then it got ugly, and I mean the segments would turn into ugliness. What happened?
Yeah, it was kind of magical at the beginning until you started kind of asking me these strange and odd questions about life in general, and like why the ocean is blue. And it just got kind of spiraled downhill.
But you started insulting, and then you came up with some old high school insults and talking about my weight and how I was a socially awkward back then, and which isn't totally the furthest thing from the truth, right, Rob? We knew each other back then.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you now have the Fitness Minute on your show.
Yeah, and quit thinking that having a second dinner is a good habit. I'm pretty sure Tyler said not to do that.
So, anyways, so the segment took off. It turned out to be one of our most popular segments, and to where we had other guests that would say, "I want to be on during that Beal thing because I don't think he's real."
Well, yeah. I mean, the beach is a special place. It's appealing to everyone, I think.
Yeah, but everybody thought you were an actor, like you were a paid actor coming on to portray something that you're not. But this is really you.
I'm flattered, but my true fans, our fans of the show, they know that I'm just a regular guy, a plain old, ordinary civil servant.
Yeah, Rob, what can you add on that front?
Mike is not a regular guy.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not a paid actor.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of another show. Now, next week, quick reminder, we're starting at 8 a.m. We're going to be 2 hours. You guys are going to get 2 hours of the Varsity Sports Show starting Saturday, March 5th. Same station, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. I am just so thrilled, so honored, and we're going to be back with more Beachin' with Beal. We've got other surprise segments that we're starting that we have not disclosed yet, but you guys don't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Mike, we were talking a little bit, and Rob a little off mic about some of the new stuff coming. You guys excited?
Can't wait.
Very excited.
Okay. All right. On behalf of our guests, thank you so much to Saguaro Sabercat head baseball coach Joe Mickey for joining us. Tyler Mayer, as always, the Fitness Minute, our CAA Preps Report. Thanks to the coaches that we had on. Good luck this afternoon. 2 p.m. Footprint Center, downtown Phoenix, Open Prep Championship for the Canyon Athletic Association. Thank you to Isaiah Houston, Arizona Rattlers wide receiver. Thank you to Nick Hogan with the recruiting spotlight, brought to you by My Recruits. And looking forward to some Van Halen tribute music tonight from Van Halen. Thanks again, guys. Mike and Rob, old high school friends, kept in touch through the years. Guys, have a great Saturday. Take care of each other. Be nice. Don't take anything too seriously. Have fun. And have a great weekend and rest of the week. We'll see you next week. Go Varsity. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating a platform to promote young people in extracurricular activities and community outreach. If you are interested in partnering up with the Varsity Sports Show, find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or call or text us at 480-779-9437. The Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you.